All right, everybody, how are you? Welcome to the first ever edition of Fantasy Football Not Suitable for Work. Just want to introduce ourselves real quick. My name is Bill. The guy with the Titans gear is Maya, and the guy with the big Falcons fat head behind him is Sam. How's it going, guys?
Not bad, not bad. Itching to get going.
Doing well.
Good. Talk about what we're doing here. We want to be the first kind of live interactive fantasy football chat show. And a little bit about us. We've been in a fantasy league for several years now. And one of the main kind of things about our league is that the main component is probably foul language. Would I be incorrect in saying that, Sam?
You'd be totally spot on. The language is definitely not good.
The reason I bring that up is, we're actually going to talk about stuff and have good content, but you might hear some swear words here and there. So I just want to prepare our new viewers for that. Hopefully that's fine. I think you'll enjoy it. We're going to be real. We're going to be genuine, and we're going to be ourselves. So if you like what you heard so far, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you click the notification bell so you know when we're going live. Right now, our schedule looks like every Tuesday and Friday night at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard, 8 p.m. Pacific. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this going, guys. The reason we're kind of going live tonight when we weren't planning on going until Tuesday is a lot of news broke today. I want to start with the Ezekiel Elliott suspension, and first I'm going to toss it over to you, Sam.
Boy, this changes stuff in fantasy. It's I don't think it was unexpected. I think when you're showing girls tits or playing with girls' boobs and other things that you're doing, I think you deserved a suspension. But it definitely messes with fantasy football. It really messes up what the strategy is there. So, in my personal league, I don't have to deal with that. I've got locked in at a number 2 pick, so that's not going to be my problem. But boy, it's going to really change it up. Maya, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, 6 games was a little more than I was expecting. However, I think everybody's hitting the panic button a little too soon. Of course, he's probably going to appeal, and we all know how long an appeal could take. And it would not surprise me to see him plea bargain down to 4 games, take a midseason suspension, or battle it all season and still be perfectly startable. And you have the ability to take him at the number 3 pick. So I think it's a little too early to panic, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Okay, good points. But I think right now we'll just operate under the assumption that he's going to be suspended for the first 6 games. And if that's the case, where are you looking to take him?
I would take him. Man, I'd probably take him in the second round.
Okay. I mean, there's not really any wrong answer here. I just kind of looking for opinions. Obviously, it doesn't mean you take a 0 for 6 weeks. You'll plug someone else into that spot and just assume he'll be back to his old form when he comes back in week 7. What about you, Maya? How do you think that affects his value?
He's definitely going to plummet, especially with your newer fantasy players, maybe the guys that aren't so versed. I see them overreacting. He could slide really far in some new leagues. Our league, I really don't see that happening. I don't. I see one of our league mates still taking him at number 3, still riding that pony and just crossing his fingers, hoping for the best. Me personally, I never had any intentions of touching Zeke. I seen a strong downturn for the Cowboys this season. They lost a couple pieces of that O-line that they're so famous for. And now they got a season's worth of tape on Zeke and Dak for that matter. So I think defenses are going to be playing him smarter, playing him tighter. And I think he was due for a regression this season anyways. So, yeah, it's just more entrenched that I'm not touching him.
See, I agree with you. I've been expecting a downturn. You brought up a good point. They lost a couple key pieces of the O-line. And, he and Dak really played kind of above expectation last year, did better than anyone expected. So, yeah, it's hard to argue against his ADP of 3rd overall or top 3, but then I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to be third in drafts because I would have just went right to a wide receiver in that spot. So that's a good point. What do you think this means for the Cowboys as far as their record, Maya?
8-8 at best. I don't see them in contention for the division. I think the Redskins got stronger. The Eagles definitely got stronger. The Giants definitely got stronger. So I could honestly see the Cowboys finishing in the bottom of that division this year.
Sam, do you know when the last time was the Cowboys put together back-to-back winning seasons?
I could give a shit less about the Cowboys. So I couldn't tell you that.
Yeah.
But no.
I don't think most Cowboys fans can tell you that.
I mean, they're going to win the Super Bowl every year. All of a sudden, every time I hear anything, so I really couldn't answer that. I don't know when was the last time.
I don't know either, yeah, exactly. But I know it's been a long ass time.
Exactly.
I know there's lots of Cowboys fans out there that need to. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say there's certain things in life that are guaranteed: death, taxes, and the Cowboys not repeating a winning season. So I'll roll with that. Bill, I'm sure when he comes back, he'll be fine. Go ahead, Sam.
Let me ask you, Bill, where are you going to take him? If you had to take him, or if you were, if your heart was set on him, and even with the suspension, it kind of feels like a Le'Veon Bell situation last year. What would you do?
That's still probably no later than the second, because you're gonna grab another guy. Hopefully you can grab Darren McFadden or something and plug him in. But if not, it'll be some other guy that you grab and you're plugging in for 6 weeks, and then when Zeke Elliott comes back, I'm sure he'll be fine. Yeah, did I say I expect him to regress? Yes, I do, but he'll still be a top 5 or 10 back at the worst. So yeah, no later than the second, but it does affect him slightly being suspended. But you know what? You've seen some mixed opinions on the internet today about it. Cowboys fans obviously hate it. I mean, big surprise there, right? But I mean, I don't know. Have you seen this guy? For Christ's sakes, he's grabbing women's tops off without their consent. He's getting in bar fights. I mean, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's the long and the short of it too. And he doesn't show any signs of remorse or any changes in his behavior. So,
and he's got the bare midriff showing. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I don't like him.
He needs a new stylist.
Yeah. Sam, you shared that Michael Rappaport video. Oh my god,
fantastic! I watched it 4 different times. I laughed my ass off. I was like, wow, he's so on point. Calling out everybody he called out. It was great. Yeah.
I'll put a link to that in the description of this video so people can check it out if they haven't seen it, because I mean, it's funny no matter who you are, and if you hate the goddamn Cowboys, it's freaking hilarious. So,
look, I want to say something to that. Real quick. Man, I know some Cowboys fans, and they're just so uptight, man. You got to. I mean, look, the fucking Falcons blew the biggest Super Bowl lead ever, and I laugh at every single 28-3 bullshit thing that's out there and think it's funny. I mean, it sucks, but man, Cowboys fans are uptight. Every time I see anybody tries to say anything, or I mean, they get aggressive. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're just the absolute worst. There's no fan base I dislike more than Cowboys.
Well, when you're still riding rings from 20 years ago, I mean, it's bound to shake you a little bit.
It's true. It's absolutely true. You'll never hear about it. How many rings they have. What the fuck have you done for me lately?
I'm pretty sure most Cowboys fans alive now weren't around when they won the Super Bowl last.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Well, unless you guys have anything to add, we'll move on.
Nope, next.
Let's move on.
So there was a lot of trades today. I can't believe how much shit came down the wire. And I'm an Eagles fan, so we're going to start with the Eagles. I like what they did here. They traded Jordan Matthews. Now, I love Jordan Matthews. He's a great guy. He's a great teammate. And he's been productive. But for all intents and purposes, the Eagles have a lot of depth at wide receiver right now, and they have approximately 0 depth at cornerback. So to rectify that, they sent Jordan Matthews to the Bills with a 3rd-round pick as well, and in return they got Ronald Darby. Now, Ronald Darby was, I believe, the 6th ranked cornerback by PFF 2 years ago, his rookie year. He had a great breakout rookie year. Did regress last year, but I think if you look at the big picture, that's a big upgrade for Philly in the secondary. Maya, opinions, thoughts?
I'm not so hot on it. I don't see the Eagles quite having that wide receiver depth like you see it. I don't see how you can count on Alshon Jeffrey playing 16 games this year. Torrey Smith's all but washed up, and Nelson Aguilar right now is all hype. I really think that, they definitely needed some help on defense, and especially at corner, but to give up such a dominant slot presence like Jordan Matthews, I think it's going to hurt him in the long run.
Okay. So 2 things. First of all, eat shit and die. Secondly, put your money where your mouth is, because I'm willing to bet a good sum of money. We'll have to figure out the terms, but trust me, they've got depth. Did you see Mac Hollins last night with a double stiff arm?
Yeah, I seen that, but I mean, it's preseason. He's playing, 2nd tier, 3rd tier defenses and all that stuff. You just can't build too much into this preseason,
We'll see.
I think I would have much preferred to keep the depth with Jordan Matthews on my roster.
We'll see. I expect the Eagles to have a great offense, and particularly passing game, even without Jordan Matthews. And we really only had one glaring hole, and that was cornerback. So this helps address it potentially. We're not sure which Ronald Darby we're going to get, but so what do you think that means for the Bills, Sam? They already lost Stephon Gilmore to the Patriots, and now they've lost their 2nd cornerback in Ronald Darby. So they're pretty thin.
It feels like a reset a little bit. And I know we're going to talk about the other move they made, but it feels like a reset. I think they're, if I were coming in as the new head coach and looking at the personnel, looking at the results that they've had, I think they're just, I think he's wanting to make his mark and kind of start with a clean slate. That's what it feels like for Bills fans. I mean, I don't know. You can get.
They have fans?
Well, yeah. They like NFL. I mean, but
yeah.
I mean, I think the Eagles. It was a good move for the Eagles. I disagree with you, Maya, on it. I think it was a addition by subtraction. I think their wide receivers are going to be more focused. I think it definitely helped them out on the defense, and I think they came away as better for it. The Bills to me feel like they're just kind of resetting.
Well, then go fuck yourself and the fucking Eagles. Next question.
Okay, well, let's talk about the other part of that trade. So the reason the Bills pulled off that trade is because they were getting rid of Sammy Watkins. They declined his 5th-year option earlier in the year, so not too much of a surprise that they were ready to part ways with him. They sent him off to the Rams, and in return, they got E.J. Gaines.
Who?
Exactly. Exactly. I think this just speaks to Sam's point about rebuild. Sammy Watkins is potentially going to be a very high-ticket player, and it doesn't look like they were willing to get involved in a big contract with Sammy Watkins, who hasn't been able to stay on the field, as talented as he is. And I think they were just looking to kind of replace his production with Jordan Matthews, which I think, if we're talking healthy, I prefer Sammy Watkins.
I was super high on him this year, way high before today's news.
But when you look at actual production, I mean, Jordan Matthews has been pretty consistent. So they might not be, when all is said and done, they might not be losing too much. And they do have Zay Jones on the other side, so that's going to be good. So I kind of agree with you, Sam. It really stinks like they're rebuilding. I mean, they picked up a couple of pieces, so they'll still be able to contend. But when you're dumping a high-profile player like that, it looks like you're kind of looking towards the future and not so much this year.
They're douching their team of the AIDS that was Rex Ryan. That's exactly what they're fucking doing. Think about that fucking $9,000 AIDS pill They're douching their fucking lineup, and they're starting all over again. That's exactly what's happening.
But Sammy Watkins is, for me, fantasy-wise, he was a guy. I'll say is a guy that I think can have lots of potential. And even with this trade, I still think he's a guy that's going to be valuable.
You can't be serious. You can't be fucking serious.
Absolutely.
He's moving over to the Rams. He's moving from Rex Ryan's AIDS over to Jeff Fisher's ex-chlamydia. Jeff Fisher left fucking the Rams with a whole bunch of STDs.
They rub
Sammy Watkins.
They rub some cream on it in LA. Look, I'm not an LA Rams fan, but I'm telling you now. You heard it here. I think he's going to have a good fantasy year. Not great.
Where do you think he finishes?
Top 15.
Top 15 with the Rams?
Yep.
We gotta find some sort of a friendly wager system for this show, because I see all sorts of bets flying around, but my wallet won't support it.
I'm interested to see what their offense looks like this year with McVay, the new head coach.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy. I mean, there's a reason why Goff went #1 overall. There's got to be some talent there. You know what I mean? So
yep. Maybe
they bring something out of him this year and they get some things going. McVay gets a lot of production out of an offense. But I did see someone say earlier, is there a better life upgrade than moving from Buffalo to LA?
Good point.
Just more. Sammy Watkins is a huge winner in this trade. Huge winner.
Oh yeah, everybody wants to get the fuck out of Buffalo.
Jesus Christ, that's terrible. so good for him, even if he's got fucking Simple Jack throwing to him.
Simple Jack. Oh, I was trying to put my finger on it, and that hit the nail on the head.
Simple Jack, and then you got Ruby Goldberg, right?
Mm-hmm.
Running back.
Yep, you got Jumping Jack Flash there.
Jumping Jack Flash. I mean, I think Sammy Watkins is still valuable.
Yeah.
I'm not touching him anymore. He's totally off my draft board now. I was taking him as a low end wide receiver 2 in mock drafts, and I just can't touch him.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, who else do they have to throw to? Tavon Austin. Tavon Austin ain't drawing any defense to his side of the field. Him and his 350 yards a year. I think I broke down his contract, and he made something like $9,500 a yard or something. Dumbest contract in NFL history. But he's not good. You don't have to game plan for Tavon Austin. You barely have to game plan for Todd Gurley anymore. All you got to do is send 2 corners over to his side of the field, and he's done.
So let me put a disclaimer.
Let
me put a disclaimer out there. This is coming from the guy that's never won a championship in our fantasy league, and the other 2 of us here, I've won it. Well, Bill's won it multiple times, and I've won it once. So take it for what you want.
That's a fair point. Fair point.
It's a new season, bud. It's a new season. All your trophies can go right up your fucking ass because it's a new fucking season. Watch. Past trophies don't. You sound like a Dallas Cowboys fan. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Let me flip it back to Buffalo then, Maya. What about Jordan Matthews now? How do you think that affected his value?
Man, I could see him being a feasible wide receiver 3, maybe even low-end wide receiver 2. I could see him in the 900 1,000 yard range, maybe 4 or 5 touchdowns. I think having Anquan Bolden there really helps Jordan Matthews. He's going to be a big red zone target. He's going to attract a lot of attention from the secondary. I think Jordan Matthews' ceiling is higher in Buffalo than it was in Philly.
Okay, wait a second. Okay, so in previous discussions that were not part of this, Anquan Bolden was a cancer to a Golden Tate, right?
He was a cancer to Golden Tate, yeah. But,
right. But now he's not a cancer to Jordan Matthews. He's not going to be a red zone.
Golden Tate and Jordan Matthews are 2 different players. I mean, they have 2 totally different styles of playing. Golden Tate takes the quick slants underneath, where Jordan Matthews is a far superior route runner. From what I've seen, Jordan Matthews is successful running the complete route tree, where Golden Tate's limited to your quick outs and your quick slants and all that kind of stuff. And that's where I feel like Anquan Bolden hurt Golden Tate, because they needed to push the ball downfield, and Tate wasn't doing that. Now the Bills have Anquan Bolden and Jordan Matthews that can both push the ball downfield, and I think they complement each other. As far as Buffalo goes, I think they win by the end of the day on offense, but they're going to need those wide receivers because they're going to be in negative game scripts for sure with no corners.
Okay. I think a lot of this is probably dependent upon Zay Jones, right, Maya?
Possibly. I mean, I haven't watched a whole lot of tape on him. I'm not even sure of his size stats. I just I don't know enough about Zay Jones to kind of stat what kind of season he's had. I've heard a lot of hype about him, but I just haven't seen it with my own two eyes to put a comment to it.
There's definitely a lot of hype, and he's the type of guy that could emerge and be the number one, possibly. And if that happens, that could affect Jordan Matthews. But he's definitely a guy to keep an eye on. I definitely might be looking to take a flyer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going to go way late.
I'm not sure if you guys saw the news. It was confirmed that Ryan Tannehill is having season-ending surgery. So, barring injury, we're getting a whole season of Cutler. I'm excited.
I was hoping
I am
we would
excited.
get to this question.
Sam, tell me you're excited about smoking Jay Cutler.
I'm excited to watch all the interceptions he throws. He just doesn't look like he gives a shit. I mean, the last couple of years I've watched Jay Cutler and I started paying attention to him from fantasy. I just never bought into him as a great quarterback or even a decent one. He's like lost motivation. And, the first couple games that they get into and they lose, he's not going to really give a shit. So I'm negative on him. I feel bad for the Dolphins. I like Tannehill a lot, and I think they have a lot of potential fantasy wise on that team. I think in real life, the Dolphins have a lot of potential. So I feel bad for him, but I think I'm negative on Cutler.
Maya?
Yeah, I think this throws the whole Dolphins season out the window. I mean, the guy just came off the couch, smoking a carton and drinking a 12-pack a day. I mean, he even admitted he's not in the best cardiovascular shape.
Yeah, yes, he did.
You can't tell me that he's been studying tape in the offseason. You can't tell me, and even though he's familiar with Adam Gase's offense, it's still going to be different with the different pieces. Honestly, I think the signing of Cutler hurts everyone except for maybe Kenny Stills. Because Jay Cutler does have that cannon for an arm. He's got excellent deep ball accuracy. It's everything underneath that gets him in trouble. So I say it's a downtick for Jarvis Landry and Devontae Parker, but maybe a slight rise for Kenny Stills.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, Devontae Parker is going to be the number one on that team, and it's not even close. He's going to have a fantastic damn year. You heard it here first. Look for Devontae Parker. He is an incredible receiver, and now that they're free from the shackles of Tannehill, and they have a good deep ball thrower, I mean, they got to pay some respect to the run because Jay Ajayi is a goddamn stud.
Yeah,
that's gonna open a lot of stuff for Devontae Parker downfield. I'm really excited. He was kind of drafted to be the number one anyway, and I think this is his year. So let's keep our eyes posted, keep our eyes peeled, rather. Maya, what's going on with what do we need to know about the Titans? I'm going to give you a chance to talk about your team. And I'm going to grab something, so I'm going to turn off my camera for a minute. You freestyle, brother.
All right. Of course, as a Titans homer, I'm super excited for this season. I think our running game is going to be top-notch again. Top three, easy. The defense has improved. I like drafting Adoree Jackson. I'm excited to see what Corey Davis is going to do. I love the signing of Eric Decker. I think Mariota's totally set up for success this year. And winning the AFC South, pending injury, should be a foregone conclusion. What do you think, Sam?
I think you're full of shit. I think you're drinking Kool-Aid. I think Eric Decker is overrated now. I think he's
really every season he's been on the field.
Okay. All right. So tell you what. Let's see how many guys you put on your fantasy team. Put your money where your mouth is, and let's see how many guys you draft off the Titans.
You should see my mock draft, bro.
No, I want to see. Fuck your mock draft.
I got DeMarco, Delaney Walker, and Eric Decker all rolling out, and Mariota if he falls late enough. I can't wait
to see you start all those Titans in our big money.
All of them. I will start
every single week. I want to see you
every single week.
Money where your mouth is.
Dude, you can't deny Eric Decker's red zone presence, and you can't deny Mariota's red zone accuracy and his efficiency. You can't deny those two factors. And DeMarco Murray can get us into the red zone every fucking time. The guy's unstoppable. He's playing on fire. He's playing like he's reborn. Like, I just see big things for our offense this year. And I'm trying really hard not to be a homer, but I don't know how you can argue with that.
No, you that's good. I mean, you should be. I think I want to see you draft him and put him on your starting lineup, though. And then,
Right.
obviously, we'll keep track of it, and I'm going to call you out what a dumbass you are when they don't pan out.
All right, fair enough. Make note.
For the record, I agree with you, Maya. I like Eric Decker. He is a great red zone player. He's just a good receiver. He's been very productive, and I'm excited to see what he does. You guys have great red zone efficiency, so he's definitely going to get some looks down there. I'm excited. Am I going to draft him? Oh, maybe. Not too early, obviously, but you could do a lot worse on your team. I'm going to give Sam the same opportunity. Let's talk about your Falcons, bud. Whatever you want to say.
First of all, I can't wait for week 1 to start. We need to get a win right off the bat. I'm so sick and tired of what happened. With the Super Bowl loss, it still is killing me. I've tempered my expectations. I'm realistic. I do think that a lot of people are very down on the Falcons, and I love that. They seem to play better under the radar. They're essentially the same team that they were. They're a high-powered offense. Fantasy-wise, Julio Jones is Julio Jones. He doesn't need much of an explanation there. Devontae Freeman, I think he's slightly underrated. I think he's going to have a great season. Tevin Coleman, I think, is going to regress slightly. I think Freeman's going to have a little bit more of the share of the ball. But I do think Matt Ryan's epic season last year was a little bit of an outlier. I think he's going to have a good season, but it's not going to be the same numbers that he was. That he was off the charts last year, stat-wise. So, but I'm confident the Falcons will make the playoffs. But from there, it's a toss-up, man. There's just a lot of good teams. A lot of teams upgraded, so it's fierce competition.
Yeah, good points. Matt Ryan, another player I picked up off waivers early in the season. I mean, Jesus, gold just fell into my lap last year. I can't even believe it still. I had so many number 1s and number 2s on my team.
It was disgusting.
It was incredible. Yeah, and I still lost in the finals.
Yeah, it was fucking gross. You're welcome. That was my fault. So you're welcome for that.
It was.
Yeah, two problems that I have with what Sam said about the Falcons. Number 1, they are essentially the same team minus one huge piece, and that's Kyle Shanahan. They didn't start catching fire until Kyle Shanahan installed his offense. And number 2, Freeman, in my opinion, last year was playing out of his mind for a contract. He got that big money. He's got a big, fat guarantee. There's no incentive for him to go off anymore. The only thing you're counting on is him riding the sting of that Super Bowl loss. And I think that's a big hope.
Yeah, we'll have to take this off. We'll have to take this offline and do a little thing. I think Shanahan fucking cost me the Super Bowl.
He cost you the Super Bowl, but he's the reason you got there.
I think the team's the reason I think I think they're going to keep a lot of the same schemes in place. I'm not even worried about it. The offense is still going to be high powered. They're not going to regress that way. They're going to be in the top in scoring. They're going to be the top in scoring. It always comes down to the Falcons defense, man.
Looks well, we'll see about that. But Maya, looks like we have a viewer question for you here. The viewers want to know who did you trade LaShawn McCoy for in Week 10 of the fantasy season last year?
I'm pretty sure it was 3 magic beans and a can of Schlitz malt liquor. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Like, was Jonathan Stewart involved in that trade?
Yeah. Here's the backstory. Okay. I was rolling those monster running backs, LaShawn, DeMarco, LeGarrette, and who else? I forget the other bitch. But I was looking to move
4 top 10 backs.
I did have 4 top 10 backs. However, I was looking to move Murray because of that Week 13 bye, and I knew there was going to be a slight downtick towards the end of the season, which did happen, right, Sam? I'm pretty sure he fucked you in the first round. And
yeah, he did.
And I traded him for A.J. Green. At the time, A.J. Green was wide receiver 4 or 5. He was high up there. The next week, as soon as I got him on my roster, he went out the rest of rest of the season with injury. At that point in the season, I'm looking at winning one more game to make the playoffs. And one of our league mates with that LaShawn McCoy trade caught me in a tight spot. McCoy was by. I had another player injured. It was the right deal at the right time. And, it worked out for him and not so much for me.
Great. Well, that brings us to one of our segments that we'll be doing throughout the season known as the Maya Meltdown, where we chronicle how Maya completely dismantles his fantasy season.
Fuck that. I'm Iran this year, man. I ain't trading with anybody.
Yep. Okay.
I've imposed fantasy sanctions.
I can't wait to refer back to this. And one thing, I just wanted to rub something in your face, Maya, that my name and Sam's name are on here, but I didn't see your name, but I just want to show the viewers what we're playing for each year. In addition to the great money.
Love it. Love it.
So I'm going to go ahead and talk so it shows up on the screen. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, I see it. It'll be on my mantle this offseason.
That is not suitable for work, just like the name. That is the Intercontinental Championship. The Intercontinental Championship.
My name will be on there soon.
Right over here are the winners. Take note, Maya. Your name will never be on this trophy. I would bet my life on it.
Okay. Go fuck yourself, bastards. I'm going to go drink some Schlitz and pass out on the couch.
Sounds good. Final thoughts, guys.
I'm excited for football to start. I'm excited to get this going. I'm excited to join with and network with people and connect with people out in the social media field and excited to have some collaborative talks. So looking forward to it.
Maya?
Yeah, just we really want to be live and interactive with our fans. Make sure you join our live show every Tuesday and Friday nights. That's our main goal, is to interact with you, the viewers, and just be one big community instead of a bunch of talking heads just spewing stats all night.
Definitely. As we get more subscribers, we'll have people tuning in and asking questions that we can answer in real time. So it'll be fun. We'll get to know some people. We'll keep talking some shit, and we'll continue to not be suitable for work or your kids. And I'm just with you, Sam. I'm excited for the football season. I'm excited to get our fantasy draft over with. I've got anxiety.
Oh, yeah. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. We always do it right after the week 3 games. So just because of how work and stuff falls with Labor Day. It'd be nice if we could wait till after week 4, but we wait till after week 3. And usually not too much changes, knock on wood. So I'm ready to get this underway. It's gonna be a great season. We're gonna have tons of shit to talk about all season, and we're gonna have fun doing it. So make sure you hit the like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you click the notification bell, and tell your goddamn friends, because we're gonna have a blast. Thanks for watching, guys. We love you.
Peace out.
Deuces.